Representative Marsh.
Thank you, Chair Burdick and members of the committee. I am grateful for the opportunity to speak to you today. I'm Pam Marsh. I'm state representative from District 5, which is a seat which was once held by Alan Bates some years ago. I first met Alan in the summer of 2004 when he was running for state senate. Happily, he won that race, and for the next 12 years, he served as my state senator. The patients in Doc Bates' medical practice revered him and vice versa. He continued caring for them throughout his career as a public servant. Although Alan had a couple of tough re-election campaigns, including one nail-biter that had all of us holding our collective breath until a full day after the polls closed, the constituents who were paying attention loved him as well. For those of us who live in a community that is a full 4 hours drive from the Capitol, it can be hard to understand the legislative process. But even from that distance, we knew that Senator Bates was an extraordinary representative. We watched with pride as he improved foster care practices, fought section dredgers, and continued the work he'd begun decades previously to transform health care. He stood up for our district, but even more, we recognized that his contributions, especially to healthcare organization and practice, had statewide and even national implications. Alan was also deeply committed to his family. And here's my personal story. Last August, about a week before he died, I met Alan at his office on a Sunday evening after he'd seen a lineup of probably 40 or more patients during the day. After giving his full attention to all of those people for many hours, he was still brimming with energy and enthusiasm, and we spent an hour or more talking about the issues that he wanted to pursue in the 2017 session in ways that I might be of help to him if I were elected. In the middle of our talk, Alan's cell phone rang, and it was his beloved Lori. To my consternation, Alan immediately put her on speakerphone without telling her. She asked when he might be home, and he told her that we were meeting and that he'd be a little while, and he apologized. She assured him that it was no problem. He told her he'd be home soon, and he said, "I love you." And of course, she said, "I love you in return." Listening, I thought, I should really be nicer to my husband. But that's all part of the takeaway from knowing Alan. Bates was unabashedly passionate about his patients, his colleagues, his work, his constituents, and most of all, his wife and family. In his commitment to us all, he held back nothing. That's the lesson and the inspiration of Alan Bates. And thank you for allowing me to share that with you today.